Just take a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you, sitting bones rooted to the earth, shoulders on your back, hands resting on your legs. Oh, and feel that, just that sigh. Every single time I come to my mat, the very first few seconds, there's this big like exhale from the busyness. Kind of step away from all the doing of all the things. So when you arrive here, you can close your eyes, you can look down. Bring your attention inward and start to notice the smooth, slow breath. This will be a gentle practice for all levels. So whatever your body needs today, give yourself permission to receive that. There will be invitations to do a little more or a little less. And you get to choose moment by moment and pose by pose what your body needs today. Let's do a check-in with the body parts so we kind of know where to honor, where to hold back a little. Let's start with circling our wrists and opening and closing our fingers, and just notice your hands. If you have been working a lot this weekend, or maybe you've been on keyboards a lot, maybe you have a little arthritis, just notice fingers and hands and agree to honor your hands, taking rest as you need to. And then bring your fingertips up to your shoulders and just open and close your arms. Feel your elbow joint. I know some of you are tennis players or golfers. Maybe you have a little tennis elbow or a little bursitis going on in your elbows. Just soften that joint and just honor movement at the elbow joint. With fingertips on the shoulders, let's start to make circles with the elbows, starting to look at our shoulders. Any rotator cuff injuries or shoulder impingements, maybe just tired shoulders from sleeping on one side, just notice that. You can reverse that direction. You might notice one shoulder is a little different. It's speaking up a little more loudly than the other. Bring your fingers together, interlace, press your palms forward, and then lift arms up and just stretch tall through the side body. And then release your hands to the ground and take your left ear to your left shoulder. So we'll start to check in with our neck. Just feeling that right side. And as you roll across the center, feel the back of your neck. And then right ear to right shoulder, feeling the left side. Do that a couple of times back and forth. See if there's anything in your neck that's wanting attention today. Might go back slightly. Be careful on dropping your head back. You don't want to cut off your circulation and pinch too tightly back there. All right, loosen that up. This is going to be a fun one. I want you to pay attention to your face for just a second. So we're going to scrunch up our face really tight and then just relax your face. And then open your mouth and open your eyes really wide and then relax your face. Do that 2 more times. Scrunch up and relax, open and relax, scrunch up and relax and open and relax your face. Bring your right hand to the floor, draw your left arm up and over. And not only stretch and breathe into the left side, but assess, check in, rib cage, left lung, left waist, left obliques. I did a hard core workout yesterday and I'm feeling my obliques today. Switch sides, come up and over to notice the right. Stretching checking in. And then we'll turn this into a twist. So just rotate your body to the right, the left hand to the right, knee sit as tall as you can, and then just wring out. See what you feel here in your core muscles and your spine, starting to move down into that lower back. Maybe it's still shoulder, maybe it's chest. Switch sides, rotate around to your left, take a tall seat, lengthen, and squeeze. And then coming back to center. And one more movement while we're seated. Seated cat and cow. Pull your chest forward and round your spine back. And I'd like you to really rock on your sitting bones. So pull to the front and rock to the back. When I do this movement, as soon as I move back, there's a tiny little place in the left side of my low back that's saying, pay attention, listen to me. So see if you find anything like that in your body as you move slowly through these two shapes. And we're going to unfold slowly. So take your right leg and bring it out into mermaid. So bring it out one foot back. And so your left knee is bent in front of you. And we're going to start here with a side stretch. So right hand down, left arm up. And if you feel like you want a little bit more, reach up, grab that wrist, pull on the wrist, give yourself a little more space, and then let that right hand drop again. You can just roll your head from side to side and just enjoy this nice spacious stretch in the side of your body. And then bring that arm over, hand to the floor, right arm comes up. And that's kind of a good stopping point for some of us. If you're feeling comfortable here, lower the elbow, the forearm to the mat, and the arm comes even farther. If you're still getting a green light, straighten out that right leg and just reach up and over the whole side of your body, stretching here. Once you've found that big line of energy, you might bend your elbow and just kind of let your hand dangle. So now it's the elbow that's reaching. And then from here, we'll swing the arm around, come back to the hand, rotate your body over that bent knee, pull your chest forward. It's kind of like pigeon, but not really. And then just feel a twist. Your knee might still be bent if that works better for you. And ease your way back to center. And then we'll just switch. So now the right knee is in front, the left knee is bent with the foot behind you. And we'll start with the harder stretch, which is left hand down, right arm up. And you can take a hold of that wrist, stretch up a little higher. Hear your breath. If you're in the room with another person, hear their breath too. You can remind each other to be better breathers. Release your hands. And now we'll go up and over. So right hand down, left arm straight up. Great place to stay. And if you'd like a little bit more, drop your elbow to the mat, reach that arm way over. And then there's the option to extend that leg out, and now the whole side body gets to stretch. Breathe into those places. Maybe the arm dangles and the elbow starts to pull up now. And then release yourself up to your hands and just take a gentle twist here. Looking forward over the edge of your mat. Pull your chest through. It's a really nice little wringing out for the belly, a good digestive twist. Great thing after a weekend if you've had some parties. So from here, we're just going to kind of drag ourselves around our legs, come to all fours, tabletop position. And let's start by just shifting the hips from side to side. We always do front to back, but give yourself a little side hip stretch here. And then finding neutral, all fours, reach your right foot back, tuck the toes under, and press your heel to the ground. So you're getting a little bit of a lot of a calf stretch. Just press your heel down. So I'm pressing pretty hard into my hands, kind of pressing away so I can get some leverage, dropping that heel behind me. And then pick that foot up, cross it over the bottom leg, come to the outside or kind of the top of the foot, and then just twist back, sink back into that outer right hip. Breathe so deeply here that you really feel the skin of that hip and the waist expanding. And come back to center. Do one cow and one cat. From a neutral position, press your left foot back. Find the calf. So tuck your toes, find the perfect place where you can really press into your hands and press that heel to the ground. Deep, slow breaths. And lifting that foot up, take it across. You can set the outside of the foot on the ground and then just let your hip, your left hip, drop toward the left a bit. Just finding some IT band outer hip stretch here. Breathe slow, breathe deep. Give yourself this gift. And come back to center. One cow, deep breath in. One cat. And widen your knees, shift your hips back into child's pose. You could stack your fists under your forehead or grab a block, but give yourself a moment here. So we've checked in with a lot of the parts of the body. From here on out, I'd like to ask you to pay attention to your mind. Think about what you think about. And it sounds crazy because very often we say, let go of the thinking, but watching a thought, observing a thought becomes a meditative practice. Go ahead and lift up, spread your fingers wide, come into downward facing dog and pedal your heels. So as you're stretching your body, your mind thinks things. Observe those thoughts like an outsider watching a movie. See what comes up. So it's not the thinking that's the problem. It's the following the thought to the next thing, right? It's the going off sightseeing. So if we just notice, oh, there's a thought about tight hamstrings. Oh, there's a thought about temperature. We can stay focused and stay here. Let's shift forward into plank pose and we'll drop our right knee to the mat. Pick up the right toes and just flip them off the edge of the mat so you can open into a side plank. I'm going to use this to open up our shoulders. So push the palm back, open your chest, slide that arm right up by your ear, and then circle your face, round your spine and come back up again. Arm goes way back behind you, as far as your shoulder will allow you, big circles. And as you're moving your body in this way, you're paying attention to your body, but pay attention to the quality of your thoughts. The way your mind is working here. Is it in this practice? Or does it have a tendency to run away? Let's go one more time. Big reach up and over as far as you can, sideways, lots and lots of length. And then we'll come up to the fingertips and bring ourselves to a T, opposite direction, gate pose. Reach the fingers high, walk the fingers down the leg. Lots to find here. You can circle your wrist up top, but keep the length, keep the space there. And then as we bring that hand down, we'll rotate again toward the edge of the mat, both knees down. Let's find downward facing dog, and the body might feel a little different, a little imbalanced. So let's shift forward. Let's create balance, dropping the left knee to the mat. Kick the foot off and open into side plank on a knee. The top arm reaches back as far as you comfortably can go. Slide that arm right up by your ear and begin your circles. Moving with breath. Noticing thoughts. Take one more circle and then reach way, way, way up and over. Find all of that length and space. And then fingers come up, lift onto one knee, one foot, and moving into gate pose. Fingertips can walk down your calf, stretch up and over. And then again, let's find a tabletop position. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So now we've got a little more warmth there. Let's start to pedal the heels, really pressing down through one foot, bending the opposite knee. Core stays engaged. And then slowly, slowly walking to our hands, feet about hips distance apart, ragdoll. Let your fingertips touch your elbows. On your inhale, come forward just a little bit. Exhale, sigh it out. Drop back down. Do that again. Inhale to release just a touch. One more time. And allow your fingertips to come to the mat. Let's heel toe the feet wide, toes come off the mat, and bend and straighten your knees. Go as deep or shallow as you need to. We didn't do any checking in with hips and knees, so this is an opportunity to do an assessment there. Anything in the hips today, anything in your knees. And then come down as far as you safely and comfortably can. That might be halfway right here, hands to heart. You might feel comfortable dropping your hips all the way down. And if you can't get your feet flat, try stepping out a little wider. It seems to be helpful for a lot of folks. You can bring your elbows down and your chest up. This is the one where we want to lift our head like a turtle coming out of its shell. Take some deep breaths here that you can feel all the way down to your tailbone. And then release those fingertips again. Slowly straighten the legs. Turn your toes forward, put a bend in your knees. We'll use our knees to help us stand up with a straight spine and come all the way up to mountain pose. And let's take a deep breath, arms reach overhead, interlace the fingers again, press your palms up, stand as tall as you can. Lift, 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 lean to one side. And come back, lean to the other. Come back up high, release your hands, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, press your body to a half lift, nice flat back, and return to downward facing dog. We're gonna shift forward again into plank pose. Let's drop our knees to the mat. Spin the crease of your elbows forward, lower halfway down, and then all the way down to your belly. I'm losing you in the foliage. Come up to Cobra. Just hold this pose for a moment. Strengthen your back. Elbows pull back and in. Zip your legs together. Toes reach back. Tuck your tailbone. See if you can lift a little higher without pressing into your hands. And then chin comes down, up to your knees, and back to child's pose. Rock your hips from side to side over your heels. And we'll come up to a tabletop position. Swing your right leg around, coming into a lunge. And now we get to find those glorious hip flexors. Kind of come in and out of the pose a couple of times. These guys are stubborn. We refer to hip flexors as our anger muscles. So they're kind of difficult. You got to ease in. And we'll come down into the deepest comfortable stretch you can find. Either stay here or press up onto that front knee. Give yourself a little more of a back bend. It doesn't always feel good, but sometimes it does. You could stay with one of those options or lift one or two arms. And let those fingertips come down to the earth. Tuck the back toes and we'll go even farther down into those quadriceps. Shift forward and back. And then choose either knee down or knee up and come to high lunge. Reach, breathe, expand. Imagine a beach ball between your hands and just toss that beach ball back. Open your chest. And then peel open into a twist to your right side. So left fingers forward, right fingers back. And come back to that high lunge. Exhale, fingertips down to the mat. Let the back foot tiptoe or step in to meet the front. And pause to notice the difference right and left. Inhale, press halfway. Exhale, deeper fold. Soft knees rise up, extended mountain. Interlace those hands again, press tall. And lean to your left and your right. Come up, release the palms, swan dive, forward fold. Press your hands to your shins, lift halfway. Hold right here for just a second. Really press your feet into the earth. Hands come to heart center. Drop your knees and twisting chair to the right. So the left elbow comes to the right knee. Hands press together. Breathe deeply. Come back to center and switch. Right elbow, left knee. Get to be your own little chiropractor here with these deep twists. And from the center, fold again, forward fold. Walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank pose, choosing this time knees or toes, lower halfway down. And lower your belly. Rise again to Cobra, squeezing your elbows back, chest presses forward. Breathe. Press into your hands, suck your navel to your spine, press back child's pose. Notice here, thoughts, thinking. Oh, hi. She scared me. Hi, Katie. We're gonna step our left foot to the top of our mat, finding low lunge. And you'll move in and out of that pose a couple of times. And if that feels good, stay right there. Just close your eyes, take a few breaths. If you'd like a little more, hand to knee, gently lift up. There's so many places along the continuum you can be. You can pull your hips back a little bit or drop them down. One or both arms overhead. What feels like nurturing and space and joy in your body? And more importantly, probably, what allows the most clear mind? Let's release the fingertips, tuck the toes, lift that knee, and come up to a little bit more active back leg. And we'll rise up together, high lunge. Grab that giant beach ball in your hands and just reach it behind you. Lift and lengthen. And coming forward, let's twist. Right fingers forward, left fingers back. Make your body long. Gorgeous. Rise high. Let your fingers come down to the floor. Step the back foot to meet the front foot. Forward fold. And shake out those legs. Inhale to a half lift. As we fold a little deeper, slide your fingertips behind your ankles and let yourself be pulled down a little deeper. Your knees can be bent, belly resting on the thighs. And softening the knees, let's stand up, extended mountain, and finish with hands to heart. Good. Okay, we're gonna make our way to the floor. So rise up, deep breath. Bow low, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. And exhale back, downward facing dog. And let's take one final vinyasa. Forward onto your knees or your toes, lower halfway. And then come to Cobra or upward facing dog. Let's finish that in downward facing dog. You're gonna reach the right leg up and move into Pigeon Pose, a really nice little hip opener. We're gonna start soft. So draw the knee to the right wrist first and stay up high. Kind of see what your knee wants you to do here. You can scooch the toes forward or back, find the best place for your right knee. And then you're gonna wiggle those left toes back, 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 and settle the knee down. So we're gonna stay up high here for a few breaths, really encouraging length in that left hip flexor. Shoulders pull onto the back. Chest reaches forward. And then slowly plant your hands and start to walk them forward. And you might find a stopping place. You might be okay coming down to elbows, or maybe creating a pillow for your forehead. If that very first stop is the best idea for you, stay there. Breathe. Paying attention to breath and body. And paying attention to paying attention. Being that observer that watches a mind that's focused in on breath, focused in on body. Give yourself credit when you notice, wow, I really was just paying attention to my breath. And then the mind wandered again, but I brought it back. That's mindfulness 101 right there. Let's come out of this the way we came in. So first up to forearms, pull your chest through. Come up to your hands and fingertips and take a little back bend here. And releasing down, we'll tuck the back toes, plant the hands. Let's shake this right leg out. Option to take a vinyasa if you like. When you feel ready, let's raise the left leg up high. Draw that knee to the left wrist and stay up high here for a bit. Give your left knee the decision-making power. Where is it most comfortable? And when in finds its home, scoot your right toes back, and you'll feel how that's kind of sinking your hips. When you found the perfect place, drop your back knee and relax that foot. Come on to fingertips, pulling the chest forward. Profound breaths right here, just deep, sweet breaths. And then we'll just start to lower. Hands come forward, maybe resting on elbows or finding that pillow with your hands to rest your head. As the witness, the observer of what's happening here, if you notice your mind is really busy, it's kind of like having a new puppy. You just got to give it lots of treats. Keep its attention. So what can you give your mind to focus on? Is it this breath, a sensation in your body, maybe an emotion to pay attention to, a word, a mantra, an image in your mind of a beautiful place? It's a great way to keep your attention focused. Deep, sweet breaths. Take one more full breath in and out. And then begin to come out of this pose the way you got in, coming to elbows and hands and fingertips. And we'll lift and lengthen. And then tuck the back toes, press into your hands, sweep that leg up high, give it lots of love. And return that foot to the earth. Drop your knees and shift your legs out in front of you. You're welcome to sit on a blanket, a folded towel, if that feels better to your body. Clear the flesh, roll your shoulders onto your back. Let's take a deep breath, arms up. And on the exhale, fold forward over your legs. So if you have a strap, this is a nice tool for this position. Pull forward before you lower down. You can hold on to your ankles, your feet, your strap. Motion is long length more than rounded. If you're comfortable here, close your eyes, deepen your breath, and be the witness once again. Give yourself a pat on the back when you notice your mind paying attention, being present. Just like a puppy, it responds to rewards. Not like a cat. They don't really respond to rewards. They operate on their own system, don't they? And press your hands to your shins and walk yourself up to a flat back. Let your fingertips come behind you and pull your chest forward. This is a great place to stay. This is a really nice, biting my wrist, really nice little chest stretch. If you'd like to try something a little bigger, plant your hands flat, point your toes, and lift your hips up. And then release. Sweep your arms high. And exhale your hands into your heart. Notice again the quality of your thinking, your awareness. Let's bring our hands to the backs of our knees. We'll shift back into Navasana, boat pose. So holding on to the backs of our legs, let your feet lift off the earth. This is a great option to just hold on and work on your core strength with a little help from your hands. If your back is feeling strong and healthy and your core is good to go, release your hands. And try not to let that waistband lower toward the earth. You can take more challenge by lifting your legs, chest forward, waistband up. And then lower your knees, grab a hold of the front of your shins, pull your spine up, and now round your back. Give it that stretch that it just wanted. And take a few deep breaths into your middle back between your shoulder blades. And then scoot forward to where your toes are close to the edge of your mat. Lower yourself down onto your back. We're going to do a little flowing bridge here as we come closer to the end of our practice. Fingertips on the floor at first, and as you lift your hips up, let your arms reach overhead. And then like you're making a snow angel, circle the arms around your sides and back down as you lower your hips. Let's do that again. Inhale to lift. Exhale, sweep around. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift and hold. Take a hold of your fingers or your thumbs overhead. Stretch your arms even longer, hips even higher. And then lower down to the ground, arms sweep back to your sides. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself some love here. Moving side to side, just feeling your hips on the earth. And we'll finish with a twist. So easiest option for twist is to take your feet to the floor, open your arms, and just drop your knees over to one side. And the knees are kind of split. Another option is stack your knees, shift over to one side, and let your knees drop. You can also hold one knee in and extend that bottom leg. So find a twist that works for you. Palms up, arms extended, both of your shoulder blades on the floor, and then turn your head to the right. The knees dropped over to the left, the head turned to the right. Be the witness. Observe what's happening here. Body, breath, a mind that's paying attention. And let your fingertips come in first to touch your shoulders. Roll your knees back to center. Find neutral and then switch. Do the same thing you did on the first side with the knees going to the right, the head turning to the left. Whatever variation you chose. You can close your eyes and find your breath. Right here, right now, this place, this mat, this very breath. Reward yourself when you notice that you've been paying attention. And come back to the center. Fingertips touch the shoulders, square your hips. Let your arms lower down to your sides and start to find your way into Shavasana. Extending the heels to the corners of your mat. Flop your feet open a few times. Open and close your hands. Roll your head. Just kind of get the wiggles out. And we'll just be here resting on our backs for about 3 minutes. And then we'll end this practice with a seated meditation. So if you find your mind wandering, get out the puppy treats, give it something to pay attention to. A sensation in the body, a breath, a word, a sound, maybe an image. Pay attention to paying attention. As you take another deep breath, pay attention. Observe the way you're witnessing this breath. And begin to move your body in a mindful way, like someone's watching. This witness is observing the transition. Watch as you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Watch as you stretch your body out long. Observe as you roll to one side and ease your way back to a seat. Observe the way you sit, whether you choose to put your hips on something. Witness. This is you watching yourself living. It's a wonderful place to place your attention. When you find your seat, let your fingertips reach out to the floor on either side of you. All 10 fingers connected to the ground, and from there, lift through the crown of your head. Keep your eyes closed. Imagine a grand mountain peak. And for just a moment, picture that you are this mountain. Your hands, your hips, your feet create the base. The crown of your head, the peak. And imagine this mountain on a beautiful blue sky day. And there are just some wispy clouds in the sky. And this mountain sits in strength and stillness, observing the clouds go by. You might imagine that this grand mountain might acknowledge, oh, wispy cloud. Rain cloud. Another wispy cloud. Again and again and again, the mountain is unmoved, just watches. So just like the mountain, we can do the same with the thoughts that float through our mind. We can be the witness to these thought clouds. Oh, a worry. A desire. Oh, an emotion. And we too can be unmoved, calm and peaceful and centered and grounded as these thoughts roll through like clouds. Take another deep breath in, and as you do, turn your palms up. Let the arms float overhead, stretch tall. Let's interlace the palms again, pressing toward the sky, and let your roots be deep, your reach be tall. Turn your palms, release your hands into prayer, and then just take your time letting them find their way to your heart. When you feel your thumbs touching your sternum, maybe move them around a little bit to find the softest place there over your heart. Drop your chin just a little and take a moment to honor yourself. Honor this witness, this higher version of you that observes you living. Listen as that higher self congratulates you for paying attention today, for slowing down, for being here, listening to breath and body. Maybe make a commitment to do a little more of that as you move through your day. Thank you so much for being here, friends, for Patio-Ga. Bowing to ourselves and each other. Namaste.